So we have a delicious ending for our time today.
Good.
If you weren't here earlier, I'll say it again now. This is a lying down practice. It's a deep relaxation. It's called 61 points exercise. So we'll be working with points in the body and the metaphor of the stars. So you want to be really, really, really comfortable. And I'm going to show you the little slumber party that's going on in our room. So I have a little clan here. They're happy to join. And what they're going to do is they put their mat out lengthwise, and they're going to put their legs up on a couch or a chair. This is one version, but you would not want to do that if you have unmedicated high blood pressure, glaucoma, hiatal hernia, these things that you wouldn't want to lie there for that long in an inversion. But if you're in good health, you've done this before, this was one variation. The other one would be just a classic lie on your back in Shavasana pose. But I do suggest that you have something under your knees, a rolled blanket, a couple pillows. You can improvise with what you have around. And it's really, really nice to have a blanket on your mat. So you just have a little more padding underneath you. The reason, why would you do that? You want to move towards stillness and be able to actually stay there, because what happens is you drop into stillness and you drop and drop and drop. And we're just going to go deeper and deeper into the stillness, into that quiet place within. So the more you can get yourself comfortable now and get yourself settled down, the more likely you'll be able to drop to that really deep place. You might want a thin pillow under your head. And as I said, something under your knees. If you're in a cooler climate or you tend to cool off, you might want something on your legs at least, or maybe even your whole body. So just take a moment now. I can't see all of you, but I'm going to just give you a little bit of a few breaths to set yourself up. One last detail in terms of that, you might think it's a good idea to do this in your bed. And if you might fall asleep because you've got the memory of bed sleep, and that's not ideal, but if you're already there and you want to do that, that's your choice.
He wants to see the slumber party again.
Here's another view of the slumber party.
Oh wait, raise it up a little bit. See? Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Begin to notice the shape of your body, the props, other sensations in your body, perhaps a fullness in your belly if you've eaten recently, perhaps a fatigue. It's been a long, full day. And then, as if to sort of gather all of these sensations, aspects of you, take a nice deep breath in and gently sigh out your mouth. Do that again, 2 more times. Inhale full, comfortably full, and exhale. Maybe on that last one, a little bit of a sigh of joy. Gratitude for being here with all of us tonight. And a fourth one, perhaps gratitude for all those who have supported you in being here tonight. Good. Now briefly scan, make sure that you are settling, quite comfortable. A few small adjustments might help, like take your shoulder blades and draw them together and down your back, so they create a cradle for your ribs, cradling your heart and lungs. Rest your arms in a way that they can actually get comfortable. So classically, your arms are 8 to 10 inches away from your body with the palms up, but you might find that it's more comfortable to have your elbows bent slightly and your hands on your hip points. So the hands are actually in contact with the body, but they're in a place that they're not going to receive sensation around the breath, because that will keep bringing awareness rather than allowing you to drop towards stillness. And then check that your low back is comfortable, legs. And then from there, bring awareness to your breathing. Establish the breath. Steady, smooth. If the breath is still edgy or noisy, see if you can smooth it out and quiet it. Stay with the breath and gradually make it deeper. Comfortably deep though. So have the sense that as you inhale, you're drawing the breath a little deeper into the lungs. And as you exhale, perhaps you're gently pressing at the diaphragm where Joanne was showing us we were palpating earlier today. So at the base of the ribs, the diaphragm muscle on the exhale comes back underneath, and you can encourage that air to come out of the lungs. On each inhale, you could soften in the belly, draw in the breath. On each exhale, allow the breath just naturally comes out the way the pressure changes, and you can encourage maybe a little more out with just a gentle pressure of the belly. Just explore without a lot of force, more focus. So now the body's beginning to settle down. The breath is a little more steady. Bring attention to the top of your head. Notice the top of your head and your forehead. Soften any holding in your forehead. Release any of the camel-like challenges that might have come up today that would make your brow scrunch. Soften your eyes, cheeks, mouth and lips and tongue. And release the jaw if it's still holding that lower jaw. Sometimes this naturally locks or habitually holds tight. Can you release it? And then take your attention to the back of the head. Heavy. Settled into the stillness and stability of the floor. Take your awareness into your neck. Shoulders. and down your arms, all the way to your hands. And then come back up through your arms. Begin to sense your chest, the rib casing, supporting and protecting the lungs and your heart. Sense your side seams, the low back, belly. Notice any movement in the belly with the breath and any tension. Softening the belly as you're able tonight. And travel down into the pelvis, pelvic floor. And sense your legs. Notice how you've placed them tonight. Sense your toes. And then bring your awareness back up through the body, all the way up. Keep coming up in your awareness all the way until you come to your forehead. We'll begin to travel through the points like stars. And you might even imagine, if you're able to imagine, a blue star-like light at each of these points. These are main confluences in the subtle energy of the body. Many of them are at the central line and at the joints. At each point, imagine a blue star-like light or sense it. Imagine you could breathe there and hold your awareness briefly at each point. And if you can't quite see a star, just bring attention to each point and rest your awareness and breath there. So the first point is at the forehead. Travel down to your throat, sensing a blue star-like light or imagining. Rest your awareness and breathe at the throat. Take your awareness out to your right shoulder joint. Move down to your right elbow joint and be aware of the star there. Your right wrist. The tip of your right thumb. Tip of the first finger. Tip of the middle finger. Ring finger. And pinky. Now return to the right wrist. Right elbow. Right shoulder socket. Return to the throat. And over to the left shoulder. Continue to sense these star-like lights. Left elbow. Left wrist. The tip of the left thumb. First finger. Tip of the middle finger. Tip of the ring finger. Tip of the left pinky. Your left wrist. Left elbow. Left shoulder socket. Return to the throat. Now take your awareness down to the heart center, center of the chest. Cave of the heart, the sacred heart. Sense a blue star-like light there. Move over to the tip of the right nipple, or the breastplate. Back to the heart center and the left breastplate. And the heart center. Now, if this is new, you feel mentally fatigued, you could just rest here. This is actually the basic system, the 31 points. If you're feeling like you've got a little more mental stamina and you'd like to keep going with me, then take attention down to the navel area. And then to the pelvic center, in between the two hip points. Travel out to the right hip joint. Right knee. Right ankle. The right big toe at the tip. The tip of the first little toe. The middle toe. The fourth and fifth toes. And back to the right ankle. Right knee. And right hip joint. Sense the pelvic center. Over to the left hip joint. Left knee. Left ankle. The left big toe. Let's call the next one the second toe. Tip of the third toe. Tip of the fourth toe. Tip of the fifth toe. And the ankle, left ankle. And if you've fallen into sleep, just gently wake yourself back up. We're at the left ankle. Left knee. Left hip joint. And then come back to center, pelvic center, and we'll travel upward. Navel center. Heart center. Throat. And the forehead. Now rest and breathe, sensing all of these points like stars in a sky. Your breath is like the wind in the atmosphere in this starry sky. Now stay in this level of sensation of deep stillness as I just gently drop a few images that we've been playing with over the weekend. If possible, avoid moving into lots of thinking. Just allow yourself to receive the idea of the starry sky. The creator of the universe made all these stars, made all of these stars in us, a microcosm of the macrocosm. And the breath that breathes us into life, the ruach, the spirit, breath, atmosphere, wind, all made by the same creator. The light is in you. Christ is in you. Among us, in every star, every joint, every cell. Everything you need is right here. Your journey has led you to the stable. And you are more wise for it. Trust that you know how to leave, by which path, and that you will be changed. Guided and ever held. Rest and breathe a little longer in silence. Let go of any images. Just bathe in the stillness. Now once more, bring attention to your breathing without changing it, just observe it. And then begin to shape it. Just gradually deepen your breath to begin to reawaken yourself just enough to make the transition to finish our time together tonight. So a few just gradually deeper breaths, perhaps a sigh. As you're doing that, notice how you feel. This work can highlight exhaustion, but it can also really greatly energize you. And it's deeply healing for the mind and the body. And then bring awareness to your legs. And if you chose to put your legs up on a prop, start to wiggle your toes and then gather your knees in. And if you're flat out in Shavasana, you might want to wiggle your toes first and then just take one leg at a time and bring it in towards your chest. It's a little bit bigger movement, so you want to go slowly. And then roll over onto your right side. Curl up in a little ball. Pause there for a moment. You're wrapped around once more that original nourishment at the navel. And then slowly push up to seated for our closing. And just sit quietly for a moment, sensing anything that's occurring. Slowly draw your palms together. Actually, let's take one palm right over the center of the chest, the cave of the heart, that sacred heart. Other palm on top of that one. Forehead down. May this sacred heart, this sacred star, light, rest deeply tonight. May you integrate all the work we did today, all the joys and explorations. Then take your palms together at the heart and honor your efforts today. The wise one inside you. From there, lift your head with eyes gently closed. Cup the palms over your eyes and blink a few times. Just come back out briefly, long enough to just say goodnight to each other. Reach your hands out, perhaps arms out, cupped towards the screen if you like.